Back at you with the second episode of We Don't Even Know What the Name of this show is called yet. How y'all doing today?
It's December 2nd, Saturday, 2017. Start of another day.
And guess what we're doing to start another day? You can tell by the way he's breathing and by how distracted my thumbs are what we're doing. This is how you get your day right when you're not worried about getting arrested for it. So, it's been a fun week out here in Denver for me. I'm about to head back home to see Yellow Wolf in Minneapolis tonight. Shout out to my people in Minneapolis. We got Run the Jewels tomorrow night. Can't wait.
That's going to be a show, man.
And my guy OSP, On Something Personal is what that stands for. Minneapolis. He's actually from Philly, but he's one of the dopest MCs in Minneapolis. He's got his release party tonight. So I'm going to be doing that. And Yellow Wolf. And then Run the Jewels tomorrow. And Camp Low on the 12th. I'm talking 10 days of some amazing shows, man. I can't wait. It's one of the best runs of shows I've ever got to go watch, really, in 10 days. So
for sure, man. That is. I like the other cast too, especially Camp Low, man. I hadn't even heard that name. I was telling you for a long time until you brought it up. But that Run the Jewels show, man. I would kill to probably go to that show. I should have tried to get a ticket.
It's well, you get a $50 flight back if you would have got it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I should have been on it. Oh, here you go. Here goes our girl weighing in right now. The Karate Hottie.
The Karate Hottie. Yeah, baby. Today is UFC 218. Jesus, it'd probably be at 2000 one time, but number 218. Shout out to Dana White for putting together some pretty magical shit and keeping it going, because you know everybody in the world's trying to get a piece of that pie right now.
This girl she's fighting, Tisha Torres, ain't no joke.
Ooh, and she's bad, man. Oh, she just about slid the scale right off the stage.
They ain't got locks on them wheels?
Right? Come on.
Whoa, that could have been real bad.
You know, not to sound too ignorant, but I think maybe best abs and female fighting is in order. Some kind of contest or some shit. Some of these ladies are looking very fit.
Yeah.
All right, well, as long as we're on that topic, let's cover some of this UFC 218 stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how much everybody out there pays attention to UFC, but I'm personally a big fan. We just happen to be watching the weigh-ins right now. See Michelle come out. This pay-per-view card we got coming up, it's going to be Michelle versus Tisha Torres. You got Eddie Alvarez versus Gaethje. A lot of people don't know about those two. That's going to be a real good fight. Title contender coming out of that one.
I didn't know about Gaethje until you showed me him yesterday, and that dude's a fucking beast, man.
He's the epitome of an old school fighter. Just comes forward and throws, and he's either putting you to sleep or you're putting him to sleep, and it's going down that way, you know.
Right.
Yeah, you got those two. Then you got another fight people don't know a lot about. This Cejudo Anthony Pettis fight. Anthony Pettis has kind of been him and his brother's shadow for a while. Sergio Pettis is the younger brother fighting tonight. He's been in his brother Anthony Pettis' shadow for a while, which is why I said his name, and he's still stuck in my head because he was already champ. But that's a big fight, title contender coming out of that one. And you got Overeem and Ngannou, two big boys throwing down.
And don't you kind of have a little bit of an advantage growing up when your brother's also a world-class fighter and you guys get to beat the shit out of each other every day?
Oh, definitely.
That kind of seems like having a baseball pitcher for a dad who gets to throw you batting practice every day or some shit.
Now that I think about it, some of the cats out here in Minnesota, they might know about Pettis. Him and his brother, they're out of, I want to say it's, hopefully I'm not wrong. I want to say it's Duke Rufus's camp, and it's in Wisconsin.
Okay.
So it's one of the biggest camps up there in your area of the country.
All right.
But yeah, and then of course you got the championship fight, Holloway and Aldo, and that's a rematch.
Did you say Overeem and Ngannou?
Yeah, that's the big boys.
Man, if you guys don't know these fighters and you like to see some large slabs of meat tenderize each other, you need to tune into that. There's a couple big boys. These motherfuckers are like 6'6", 280 and looking like Mike Tyson on chicken wings out there.
Yeah, unless Overeem decides to try and use his jiu-jitsu skills and take Ngannou down, this should be probably one of the heaviest bangers of the year in the heavyweight division. If you don't know, Ngannou just broke the punching power record on this machine they got at the new UFC facility. I don't know who else hit it, so I don't know who else they're comparing him to, but I know the previous record holder was like a badass kickboxer. I can't remember his name right now, but a big dude, and Ngannou smashed the record by a significant amount.
And didn't he just start fighting a few years ago?
Yeah. I want to say 4 years ago.
So-
Well, what it was is he took his first professional fight, I want to say after 6 months of training. That's insane.
Wow.
That's insane.
So if you think about it, I mean, somebody who just learned to, and I play baseball. I like baseball, so I got a lot of baseball references, analogies. Somebody who just started pitching 4 years ago, think of how much faster their improvement curve is going to occur than the people that are around. That guy barely probably even really knows how to throw a punch yet.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, of all the grappling stuff too, but I mean, there's some nuances. Some of these guys, I mean, it seems like a simple thing to do, but to optimize your body's power and to not hurt yourself and to throw the absolute most force you can through your fist, it takes a while to learn how to do that the right way.
Boxers learn how to do that their whole life.
Right, yeah.
That's why, you've seen in the Floyd McGregor fight, the skill level is just different when you've been doing it your whole life.
Right.
You take a guy who's only been fighting for 4 years, how good's he going to be in another 5?
Yeah, he's getting better like literally every 2 weeks right now.
Yeah. He's 10-1. Looking to see how old he is right now. I'm not even sure.
So who beat him? The first guy he faced?
It was probably something way back in his early days, I would imagine. He's 31 years old, so yeah, I mean, he's hitting his prime right now. He needs to get his skill level to match it.
Hey, shout out to High Hemp Organic Wraps. They're vegan, and they're almost impossible to find. But everybody I know around the country is taking little snappy snaps of them. And, oh, look at these awesome papers I found. Man, we've been smoking these things for a few months.
Yeah, they smoke well. I like them.
Brought to you by High Hemp.
Right.
Send us some samples.
So what's up, man? You want to pick a couple of these fights and we'll get off the UFC? I know we're not doing a fighting podcast here, but we're going to talk about what we talk about anyway, so you guys just join in.
All right, go ahead. Start with what?
Man, I'll pick them all.
Well, I mean, let's do one at a time. You want to start with
the
Torres fight?
We'll start with Michelle Watterson, Tisha Torres. I'm taking Karate Hottie. Tisha Torres, I've seen her fight before. She's mostly just a stand-up fighter.
Okay.
Karate Hottie's pretty well-rounded, and I know they're trying to elevate her status. They want to get her into a title shot because, of course, she's beautiful.
Yeah, she's gorgeous and she's got a bubbly little personality. I don't know much about either of them as fighters, and if I'm just going straight off eye test and who looks more comfortable and who looks more scared, I'd say Karate Hottie looks more comfortable.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can kind of be overconfident, but the other girl, she looks full of tension and fear kind of right now. She's on a stage she's not ready for, But not knowing shit about them as fighters, that's all I have to go on, so I'm going to take Torres.
Yeah, okay. You got Torres, but how's she going to win?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're taking Watterson. You're taking Watterson.
Yeah, Karate Hottie, yeah. Just based off body language and confidence, I'm going to go with that.
But how's she going to do it?
Oh, right. Oof. These are 3 rounds, right? The champs are 5 rounds?
Yep.
I'm going to say second round TKO. A tap out. I don't got to call the hold, right?
No, I will do submission. I think we'll do submission or knockout.
Second round submission, probably rear naked choke.
I'm gonna take third round decision, Watterson.
No, I don't mean to be ignorant again, but doesn't the hold rear naked choke hold a little different value when you're talking about a couple females like that?
It definitely could in the right situation.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get past that one.
Okay.
Gaethje and Alvarez.
Hold on. Oh, yeah, we got these on record. I was going to say, should we write these down? But I think we're recording right now.
Somebody will check us if we misremember in the future, I'm sure.
Right.
So, Justin Gaethje, Eddie Alvarez. These cats were just the coaches on the Ultimate Fighter show.
Shit, I didn't know that either. Okay.
Yeah, they just opened up a 125 division for the women, and they're the coaches, so they're going to fight now. Gaethje's a warrior. He comes forward. I don't know. Alvarez he's experienced. I feel like he's probably going to be able to figure out a way to keep his distance, point it out. I'm going to take Alvarez's decision in that one, too.
Decision, huh?
Yeah.
Oof. Gaethje does not look like a decision type of dude to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to say, I don't know. Gaethje just looks like a damn wrecking ball right now, man.
Right.
I mean, I know Alvarez is just a more deliberate, kind of intelligent fighter, and I don't know. I guess I tend to gravitate towards those man-eaters, but yeah, I'm going to have to go with Gaethje, and I'm going to go third round knockout.
I could definitely see that. I could see it being a first round knockout for Gaethje. That fight could definitely go either way. I think what'll be the difference is Alvarez might try and get him down. But
so how's Gaethje on the ground, though?
I don't know. We haven't seen it. No,
really?
I don't think anybody's been able to get him there, man. He throws so hard, yeah. Michael Johnson might have got him down a few times in his first UFC fight, but that was mostly a stand-up war. I don't remember for sure.
So what's his background? He's not a jiu-jitsu guy? He's just a straight stand-up fighter?
Gaethje? I'm not 100% sure. I'll find out real quick, probably. I mean, everybody knows a little bit of everything nowadays.
Oh, he's got heavy duty kicks too. He must be a kickboxer because I saw him just ruin a dude's knee on 2 kicks on those highlights.
Usually when you see a guy come in with stand up like he's got, that's usually their background. They got Muay Thai or kickboxing background.
Man, I don't know if I've ever seen that. Granted, we maybe didn't see all the kicks. They only showed 2. But they showed him snap a dude's left leg, left knee, and the guy tried to play it off like, oh, I'm all right. And the next time he kicked him, the dude just dropped to the ground and tapped out. That was the end of the fucking fight.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen anybody knock somebody out at their goddamn knee like that.
That was brutal, man. I've seen it before, but it was brutal. I've seen it a few times.
I suppose you could just break somebody's leg or some shit, right?
Yeah, I don't know. They just, as his background, they just list fighting and wrestling. He's just been fighting and wrestling for a long time.
That's about what he sounds like when he talks.
Alright, so this next one, we got Henry Cejudo, Sergio Pettis, younger Pettis brother.
Okay.
I haven't seen Pettis fight in a while. I just saw Cejudo's last fight. Oh, here's another little tidbit on Henry Cejudo. I bet a lot of people don't know this. All them crazy fires they had in Cali a little while back.
Yeah.
That motherfucker got trapped in a hotel
Whoa.
in a city that was like 90% burnt down. Ended up getting rescued by like the last fire truck leaving town, and he was like the last person in town. He was like running down the freeway in the middle of a burning city.
Holy shit!
There's a story on the story's on YouTube. It's look up MMA Hour Henry Cejudo, and it'll be like the most recent one within the last month or so, something like that. Little 15-minute segment. It is a crazy story, dude.
Wow.
Woke up with the hotel alarms going off and the whole city burning down.
That sounds like a movie, man, like with Pierce Brosnan, where they're trying to get away from a volcano or
yeah,
some
man,
shit.
it's ridiculous. It's like, I mean, his pants got ripped off from jumping fences and shit,
Whoa.
dude. He's running down the street half naked, dude. I don't want to spoil too much of it. Everybody out there, check it out. MMA Hour on YouTube, Henry Cejudo.
Very cool. Well, I don't know much about Pettis. You know, I know the little brothers can sometimes turn out pretty badass because they grew up getting the shit slapped around by their older brother, and they got kind of a chip on their shoulder about wanting to prove something to everybody. But Cejudo sounds like kind of a little bit of a survivor.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Cejudo's last fight, he looked like Conor McGregor. He beat the shit out of a dude that had just fought for the title not that long ago and gave Mighty Mouse a little bit of problems for a while. Mighty Mouse did end up finishing him, I think, in like the 3rd round. Cejudo starched him, dude. Starched him in the 1st round. Homeboy couldn't land a glove on him. Cejudo looked amazing in his last fight. He had like the karate Conor McGregor style going. I'm going to take Cejudo 1st round knockout.
I'm going to go with that. Okay, I'm going to go with Cejudo. I'll go 2nd round knockout.
All right. And then the big boys, Francis Ngannou, Alistair Overeem. Alistair Overeem is by far the more experienced striker. He's been doing it for a long time, but he's also been knocked out about 5 times.
Yeah.
So, for me, this one's pretty easy to call. It's going to be an Ngannou 1st round knockout. That dude hits like a fucking Mack truck.
Wow. Well, you're definitely more knowledgeable about this, but I don't want to be piggybacking on your picks.
Right.
But I don't know. I think Overeem might be savvy enough to last a round with dude. So I'm gonna say 2nd round knockout Ngannou.
It could go that way because Overeem's thing lately, his last few fights, he understands that he has a weak chin now. He's figured out how to stay away from that danger. He'll really turn his back and run away from the opponent. That's his thing now. If he gets into a spot where he's just brawling, he's like, turns and gets out and resets himself, and it's been working, man. He's been fucking people up. So then the championship fight rematch: Jose Aldo, Max Holloway. Max knocked him out. I think it was the 3rd round the first time they fought.
That was a hell of a fight, man.
Aldo was winning the first 2 on all judges' scorecards. The argument for Aldo is if he paced himself a little bit better, he might have been able to get the thing. But it kind of looked like he gassed out. He wasn't throwing no kicks also. Maybe because he was scared of getting taken down. They're saying he had a leg injury. I don't know. I ain't buying it. Holloway looks like the fucking man right now in his prime. For me, it's going to be Holloway. Finish again, probably. Maybe even quicker this time. I'm going to go 2nd round knockout Holloway.
I'm gonna go 2nd round submission Aldo.
All right, there we go. Champ gonna get his title back, huh?
Yeah, he looks fucking pissed.
Aldo's badass, man.
Yeah, he is, man.
He didn't lose for like 10 years.
Yeah.
The first time he lost was to Conor.
Oh, okay.
Conor starched him in like 17 seconds or some shit like that.
Those are
But
your only
before
couple
that,
options.
I mean, he was on a run like the UFC had never seen.
So he's only lost to McGregor, Holloway, and one other person. It's 26-3, it says.
We'll find this out and then we'll move on.
That's pretty impressive.
Who else did beat him? I can't even think now. It might have. Oh, you know what? He probably had an early loss from a long time ago. Is what it was. I bet.
While you're looking that up, is there any gotta see him matchups for 2019?
Well, fucking Conor McGregor and fuck's one boy's name? Tony Ferguson. That's the fight that really needs to happen because it's going to figure out the 155 champ. But this is an interesting subject. You heard about the Conor McGregor shit getting in with the fucking IRA or some kind of mafia over in Ireland?
Well, I saw him. No, I didn't. I saw him jump in the ring and try to fucking slap a
Yeah,
referee.
that was a little ridiculous too.
Yeah.
But this newest thing, I was just looking into this morning.
The IRA is basically like the mafia.
Yeah. I don't know. So basically, from what I gather, the story is that he went into a bar and socked this dude, and this dude's son, it was like some 50-year-old guy, and this guy's son is connected to some kind of crime family over there. One of the reports is that there's like a 900,000, not dollars, but whatever they have in Ireland, bounty on his head right now.
Wow, to kill him or just to be
to kill him, to take him out. And a lot of people are saying that it's way over exaggerated. He's in no danger at all. But then there was the thing I seen this morning was a quote from like they called it like a crime reporting unit or some shit like that. Like they just kind of tell the public what's going on with some of the crime in Ireland or whatever. And he said that shit ain't no joke. He was like, he is in danger right now. He was like, at the very least, he should be having security around him. But everything is still kind of not 100% verified.
Man, the IRA is one of the meanest gangs in the goddamn world.
Yeah. At least they were at one point in time. I don't know what they're up to now.
That would be one of them groups. I don't care if there's 3 of them left. Those motherfuckers are
They used to do the bombings and shit, right?
Yeah.
Like back in the 90s.
And they push guns like crazy, and they're just they're nuts.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
good luck with that, Connor.
Yeah, right.
You ain't
you ain't knocking out Irish gangsters in the cage, man.
The way to beat up old guys, Connor. Come on, man.
Right? Why is he socking a 50-year-old dude? One of the more even less confirmed stories that I heard is that this guy had given one of his childhood friends like a hard time or something like that. Was roughing him up or something, and fuck, this is his boy from back in the day. He's like, you did what to my own boy? Went in the bar and socked the dude. He's like, I don't give a fuck who you're related to. But
wow.
When you got fucking $100 million and everybody knows your name, you need to leave it going. Probably be a little more careful about who you're punching in a bar.
It's like what?
There was another UFC fighter, the dude who's supposed to be fighting for the belt at 205, Ozdemir, I want to say it was Volkan Ozdemir, knocked out 2 motherfuckers in a bar. He's facing charges right now, and the last thing I heard about it was that they were talking shit to his wife or harassing his girl or something like that.
Connor doesn't have a wife or kids, I don't think.
Yeah.
And that allows him to be quite the loose cannon still at his age.
Yeah.
Because the IRA will go and get one of your fucking family members.
All I want to know is who gets into a fight with the UFC fighter in a bar. What's the fighter doing in the bar? And who's the guy who thinks they could take the UFC fighter?
Man, you're talking a bunch of drunk Irishmen in a bar.
Right.
Think any of them care about getting beat up?
Probably not.
Think you tell people would line up around the block to get knocked out by Conor McGregor.
Oh yeah, and get paid.
Oh, just to say they got knocked out by Conor McGregor. Maybe they landed one punch on him or some shit. I don't know. It's all fucked up.
Yeah. I couldn't find all those third loss. It doesn't list it on here, man.
That dude could have been, might still be, but could have been like an untouchable figure in that sport. Forever. If he just shut his fucking mouth and just get back to work, because he's an incredible fucking athletic specimen, but his mouth is going to get his ass forgot.
I can only imagine what it's like to be 28 and have $100 million.
There's other people out there with that money who don't act like him.
No, for sure. That's also part of what got him paid, though.
No, he's a showman. He understands how to market himself. And the first thing I thought of when you just told me that story was, he's smart as fuck and he's marketing himself.
Yeah.
But it could be true. And I could also see him being a totally irrational motherfucker who walks into a bar and knocks out a grandpa in Ireland.
I could see it being where it was nothing close to that, and this person is trying to get paid off of him.
Yep, I can see that too. Yeah, you're being entrapped like constantly when you especially when you got a short fuse like that. People are always trying to pull you into bullshit, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. All right, well, thanks for listening to our so-called fight knowledge.
Right.
We're gonna take a little break. We'll be right back. All right, so you said you pulled up cannabis over there. What do you got?
Oh, what did I find today?
So Cannabis, for those who don't know, is a local publication here in Denver, and it is
Cannabis.
Cannabis.
T at the end.
what?
Cannabist with a T at the end.
Oh, Cannabist. Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering how they got away with that. Well, they are actually a subdivision of the Denver Post, and the Denver Post is the only publication in America that has like a standard news issue.
As far as I know, yeah, they're the only major newspaper to have like a marijuana subdivision, basically, where they have a whole section of their newspaper.
Woo woo! Shout out Denver Post. We love you. We love you. Way to be pioneers, baby.
Yeah, I've worked for them for a while, a little while too long, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was scanning the site today, seeing what they were talking about. Most of it was all downers. The one funny thing I did see on here, though, this cat tried to smuggle weed from Mexico into the U.S. on a zip line.
Oh, that was Mexico? I was thinking Canada, where they had all these big trees and like and foresty borders.
On a zip line, man.
Was he? So what was he on it, or was he sending the package across by itself?
I don't know if they actually seen him go all the way down it. It's a new story, and it's just like a couple paragraphs
long. But I mean,
long.
he was on the wire.
What happened was they saw a dude a few, like they said, it says on the thing, a few feet from the border, like fence or whatever. So they went over to investigate, and then they found 240 pounds, 10 bundles with him. So I don't think they
of
actually.
What? The fucking poop?
No, marijuana.
They don't grow no good weed in Mexico.
It's still coming here. Mexican weed's always coming over the border.
That's what I'm saying. Who's smoking? It'd take our whole country a month to smoke 240 pounds of regular with all this good weed around.
That's true. But whatever the other man, he tried doing it and they busted his ass. So it was tied to a fucking tall building. It doesn't say how far away, but all the way on the other side of the
Not far
building.
enough, because the dude got stuck at his low point.
Definitely not far enough. And he definitely didn't come far enough past the border either.
That's
You
what
don't
I'm
want to
saying.
just stop right inside that fucking thing.
Well, think about it. If your tension is bad on your zip line,
Right.
you get halfay, which is the fence, and it's
he's
safe.
just hanging there with fucking 240
Right?
pounds of weed.
'Cause he
God damn it!
You did some bad math on that shit. You should have hired a college student to do some trigonometry for him or some shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, he's gonna at least get some notoriety in the world dumbest criminals shows and shit.
Every week you hear a story about somebody trying to transport some weed and playing it very poorly. Every now and again you get a real gem like this where somebody wasn't thinking very well at all. It's a good idea, man, but poorly executed and planned.
Well, let's call this our first submission to dumb smugglers.
Yeah, there you go. Because there are plenty of them.
Alright, well, you guys are fucking knucklehead. What else is going on cannabis?
All over. Blunt in my mouth.
Yeah. Oh, take your time.
Only other thing I seen, man, was that Sessions downer. It's like the only big newsworthy one that was.
Jeff Sessions is recreating the dialogue that is including marijuana in the same ridiculous categories as meth and fentanyl and all these and opioids and all this other shit. And he's taking the opportunity of a bunch of conservatives and having their attention and trying to regress the marijuana movement in fucking marijuana madness fashion.
He's like the last throwback motherfucker that's in office right now that just has no understanding of what the movement is about and how different it is than all these other drugs that he puts it in the same sentence with here. He compared it to, what did I say? Let's see if we find it right here.
The quote is, "It's my view that the use of marijuana is detrimental and we should not give encouragement in any way to it." And then he go ahead and give him the list he groups them in with.
Yeah, he says we've got fentanyl, heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, prescription drugs, marijuana, and other drugs. So like he throws marijuana right in there at the end of all of like the biggest drugs that are the most problem drugs in the country. Man, come on, dude. This shit is being legalized all across the country every day. Maryland just opened dispensaries last week.
I mean, it's one thing to say that you don't agree with it on a recreational level, but it's just absolutely fucking ignorant to suggest that it's
completely bad and there's no benefits to it. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
But like, you have to be so intentionally ignorant to have never taken 12 seconds to look into anything, or you're just so brainwashed from being raised in rural fucking Alabama that he still does think that weed will make you hallucinate and kill people or some shit.
Yeah. The one positive spin I'll put on this is this all came after a meeting that was actually about the opioid crisis. They were talking about how to start combating this a little bit more intelligently. And then he just kind of had to throw marijuana at the end, too. I'm like, well, this is still a problem. Don't forget about this one.
Well, you know what they're going to do is they're going to come sweeping through with a huge amount of personnel, and they're going to use the level of comfortability that people have with weed to just fight their way up the drug chain just through circumstance and grill everybody and threaten everybody and get everybody they can to fucking snitch. And like how they always wanted to call weed the gateway drug. No, it's the gateway to them getting to bigger drugs that really matter. And it's always been just essentially a door opener for them to come in and get, you know, who now we all kind of universally look at as the real drug dealers, the people selling coke and meth and shit. But they've, we smelled weed outside. Boom, kick your door in and find everything they want to find.
Right.
And it's a huge, it's a lead generator. That's what that is. In the world of law enforcement, marijuana is their biggest lead generator. Why would they want to get rid of it?
It's a lot easier to smell marijuana than smell any of those other drugs.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
fucking assholes.
Bummer, but it sounds like the majority of the legislation was based in trying to fight the opioid crisis. If we could just get that stupid fucking redneck asshole out of the fucking office, maybe people would start doing what they really need to do. Yeah, well, here, and we're not going to go down a political tangent here at all, but in relation to these types of ideas, before the last year or two here where things started to really pendulum back towards conservatism, I thought that we were on a path to having a lot more liberties and just people having a lot more kind of personal freedom to do what they want with their own body and what they put in it, and especially when the old heads, the old gray heads that were in office, and we're progressively getting younger and younger politicians in almost every forum, and I just imagine this generation of primitive thinkers graduating out of all these powerful positions, and then it kind of just opening a floodgate for progressive thought. People might associate progressive thought with liberalism, which I don't. I just think it's like, can't we evolve a little bit? Right. I mean, that's what progressive thought is about. Stop fighting the natural progression of the way things should be going, really.
Yeah, and stop trying to restrict people. You know, it's funny as hell how I'm sorry to get political here, but a lot of Republicans want to talk about minimizing government, but then they want to give you all these extra laws. Come on, man. Give me a fucking break already. Alright, we're done with that. Alright, so, we got any sports to talk about? I know my stupid fucking Minnesota Timberwolves, well, I shouldn't call them that, because I see that's how routine we've been conditioned to respond to Minnesota Timberwolves losses, because we saw about a decade of them straight with almost 0 wins mixed in. But they're doing really good this year. And but they did lose a close one to Oklahoma. So
we got to get to a Wolves Nuggets game, man. There's 4 of them every year.
I keep forgetting.
Should be 2 here, 2 there.
Yeah, I got to get some plane tickets. Make sure I got my cheap guy plane ticket out here for that. We'll look up their schedule.
But what about the Vikings, though, man? What was all that shit you were seeing on the sports ticker the other night? All the injuries Falcons had?
Yeah, I can't remember too many off the top of my head, but I know Devontae Freeman was questionable, and not the ones I was.
Julio had an ankle or something. He wasn't
Julio
practicing.
Had an ankle. Yeah.
They're always resting him, though.
Shout out to Julio, though. One of the other things I saw in that little ticker was that Julio has 3 games with over 250 yards. No other player has more than 1. That's insane. And then he's still at a time in his life where he could probably still pull down 1 or 2 more of those.
It's very beastly.
Talk about separation from the pack. I mean, that's crazy. There's a lot of good receivers on that list. So yeah, Minnesota Vikings in Atlanta. It's a big game for Vikings fans, for the NFC playoff picture, because if Atlanta can pull Minnesota back, then that kind of equalizes everybody under the Eagles. But,
is there anybody close to those two, right underneath them?
Minnesota's 9-2, and then there's a handful of 8-3s, but a couple of them play each other.
We got New Orleans and Carolina.
Yep, and they're the 2 that are most hot on their ass. Atlanta's another game behind them, and then you got the LA Rams still in that mix too. I think at 8-3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Seattle 7-4.
So man,
damn, I forgot all about the Rams.
Yeah, Minnesota beat them, and then they came back and handled business and beat the shit out of New Orleans. So they're definitely a viable contender. Because New Orleans was looking unstoppable, and then LA.
What's up, dude? This is the year of all the young quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're coming through.
Wentz, Goff.
Well, man, you know what? It's people were talking this last year, like, when's that going to happen?
Manning's getting benched this week. Do you hear that shit?
Yeah, I did. He was crying.
They're going to break his fucking consecutive streak record.
He almost always looks like he's crying. And
no,
he
was
actually crying.
They offered to still let him start. They were like going to let him play the first half, and he was like, no, fuck that. He was like, you're benching me, bench me. So I respect that a little bit.
Just to get his start streak?
Yeah, so he'd still have the start streak, and he was like, no, fuck that.
Well, the bottom line for the Giants is they're really only playing for a goddamn draft pick right now anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So what do they have to lose by letting Eli go in there and fuck it off? But I just was seeing some chatter, which who knows what'll happen, and I don't think he's got another squirt left in him, because I just think he's tender, and this is going to really fucking hurt his feelings and shit. But Denver needs a quarterback.
It's true. Kaepernick. Why does Houston not pick up Kaepernick immediately when Deshaun Watson goes down? That shit is mind-blowing to me, man.
It's the bad publicity, especially in Houston.
Yeah.
They get crucified for that shit down there. Now, like in Philly or something like that, like it might be celebrated, but no.
It's true. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, totally.
I mean, we definitely don't need to get into the whole kneeling down thing. But just that aside, man.
Oh, they might.
If you have a contending team and that dude can help you, man, fucking deal with it.
Between that, if they did that, and then you got Jerry Jones, they might just kick Texas out of the NFL altogether.
Hey, they might kick Texas out of the country. They've been ready to become their own country for a long time.
Yeah, them and California talking about doing that. We would lose a lot of sports teams. We'd lose like a quarter of our leagues if they decided, well, they could still play in the leagues, I guess. We got Canadian teams.
That's true.
Jesus, yeah. How do we not have a Dominican professional baseball team yet?
I don't know. We got all the fucking players, though.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. They got such talent down there. Like, why can we play in Canada and, like, Europe and go to all these places and we can't have a... They're trying to set up an NFL team in London, and you got a honeypot of baseball talent 200 miles out of Miami. Doesn't make any sense.
That London team thing is crazy to me. Like, that's definitely not fair to the teams that have to go play fucking away games over there. That's ridiculous.
Well, they were trying to get the Jacksonville Jaguars to be over there for a while.
Yeah. They've played there, like, what, I'm going to say 3 years in a row? I think they've played there the most out of all the teams.
The most out of everybody. They played the first game there, I want to say. But they love the Vikings over there. They love that, just the iconic, what do they call that? The archetype of the Viking.
The Viking archetype?
Yeah. They identify with that over there. Yeah, baby.
Did they play over there this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget who, but we won. I have to look into that. Maybe that might have been a Detroit game we lost.
All this damn fantasy football I play, I lose track of what teams are doing because you end up just watching players.
Yeah. That's what they want, too. To get you to detach from your team and get addicted to players.
It keeps the game interesting, though, I'll tell you that. If your horse is not in the race, like I'm a 49ers fan, haven't been in the race for a while again now, but at least it still gives you something to watch, man. And then you end up just rooting for other teams because you see what's going on around the league.
Yeah.
What else are we talking about? What did you have?
Oh,
dude, what about that Amazon dude?
Oh, man. So we haven't quite figured out. I don't necessarily. I mean, now that we're doing this show, I got to start clicking shit more and actually reading it. But I just don't like getting the cookies that get attached to your computer when every time you click something. So then you start getting fed Huffington Post shit all the time,
over and over
or whatever. Yeah. So I kind of read the headline and then we go from there, which is not very good journalism. But we don't claim to be journalists, so. I was just trying to see real quick here which one of the Vikings games was in London.
Well, I can tell you the gist of what I was talking about with the Amazon story without getting too deep into it.
Oh, my bad. I got sidetracked. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, hold on. First of all, a couple weeks ago, I know I heard a couple different people talking about them trying to put this thing into where Amazon can just drop packages inside your house. Like, I think it's mostly for like secured apartment buildings and stuff like that.
I can tell you exactly what it is because my buddy already has it in Minnesota.
Right.
They send you a camera, and they also send you, at least in some circumstances, according to him, they send you a sensor for your porch. And so that somebody steps on it, it feels a vibration, the camera comes on. The person has to call Amazon and say, I'm at such and such porch. Amazon gives them a code, and at the same time, they open up a code from the homeowner, so that's supposed to be encrypted and held secret up until that moment. And then, and all this is on camera and being audio recorded and shit. and that person opens up the door, sets the package inside, shuts the door, and I think they have to wait for a confirmation. Or
it's all on camera.
And I want to say the door is controlled. Yeah, it's controlled by Amazon because they got to enter the code to unlock it. So then they hear the door lock. Yeah, it's all on camera, and then they can walk out. Or the camera, to my understanding, is inside your house, so that if they proceed too further inside your house, you can keep an eye on them instead of it being on the porch from the outside. You know what I mean? So it sounds like a pretty cool system.
Sounds pretty secure. Sounds like they wouldn't be able to get away with too much.
Right.
Especially if you got trustworthy Amazon delivers.
Exactly. And Amazon's going to back anything they do like that to the fucking fullest. You know, like if you have to file a claim, they're not going to bullshit you, I bet. And I'm not giving them a personal endorsement, but they obviously know how to do some business. Shout out Jeff Bezos, who made $2.5 billion the other fucking day. But so Walmart I saw a commercial for Walmart where they're trying to get people to let them go all the way into their refrigerator and drop the groceries off and put them in the refrigerator for you.
Yeah, let us go ahead and put cameras all around in your house, inside your fucking refrigerator.
And we control.
Yeah. Definitely not Walmart. Definitely not Walmart.
You don't even have access to those cameras, I don't think.
No, fuck
You'd
that.
have these cameras out through your house that Amazon runs.
You don't know who the fuck's coming. Yeah, you don't know who's coming to your house, and that segues back to what the original story we were gonna say, the funny one.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, you know, it's all good. You got funny people you're out there. You know, everybody that's gonna be coming into your house on camera, coming through a security system. You're gonna think that okay, they know that they could fuck up, so they're gonna be on their P's and Q's. But people still do stupid shit all the time for no reason.
Yes.
Example: an Amazon driver just shit in somebody's driveway.
Yes.
What?
Right.
Why did you shit in somebody's driveway, man?
Presumably in the blind spot where the camera couldn't see him.
He knew the motherfucker was gonna roll over it, stripe it all the way down his driveway, and then you got a real cleanup mess on your hands, dude. It ain't a pooper scooper situation.
Yeah, so the question became like, what can you do to somebody that you've never even met? Presumably, someone dropping off a package. How could you piss them off so much they want to shit in your driveway?
Right.
And so we deduced that the only thing it could be is that that person must have fucked up in the past, and the homeowner like called in a complaint or some shit like that.
I feel like he was probably Ace Ventura delivery style in them boxes ahead of time.
Wait, I just thought of what it was. Amazon's all about efficiency. They're teaching these people to poop in the field. So
no bathroom stops.
No breaks.
Find a fucking bush though, homie. Be smarter than
The
that.
poop slaves, yeah. That's what they're gonna publicly shame him, and then they're gonna pull him aside and say, "Dude, we told you gotta go on the side of the house like a Zell."
Shit in his driveway.
Oh
That's
man, great! This guy's getting paid $20 an hour to shit in people's driveways.
It's my dream job.
So, didn't you have an animal attack or something that you heard about?
I think so.
Oh no, it was Theo Von. Yeah, that's where I got that idea. Shout out to Theo Von's funny ass.
He was fucking hilarious.
That guy's a goddamn comic genius. My God, thanks for showing me him.
Yeah.
But he was talking about somebody getting. Oh no, it was Anthony Jeselnik, who's also another funny motherfucker. Was talking about how when shark attacks happen, how he's like cheering for the sharks.
Yeah.
Because he's like, thousands of sharks get killed every year, and what, like 25, maybe 30 humans?
He had a skit that he said was impossible to find now. It's been wiped off the face of the earth. Shark something. Shark Party.
Shark Party.
Shark Party.
Yeah.
Apparently a skit he used to do on his show. Anytime there was a shark attack that made big headlines, and they dress girls up as sharks, I guess, apparently, and one girl would be dressed as a shark and give him a lap dance, and then they'd show the guy's picture that got killed, and apparently went really bad.
Yeah, it was in New Zealand, yeah, and it was, everybody was mourning this person who had just got fucking devoured, I think consumed possibly by a great white. And what did he say, like, the champagne of sharks or some shit?
Yeah, great white, the champagne of sharks.
But yeah, and then he goes ahead and makes jest of it all, and uses some hot ass girls with shark heads on and their titties out, and it's pretty tasteless, you know. But that's what he does, and they just didn't get it because comedy doesn't jump cultures always. It's not. It gets lost in translation. And
yeah,
shit, you know?
They didn't get it at all because he started getting death threats.
Yeah.
He said, "If I die from a joke that I did, that's like the ultimate goal. That's it.
That's
you become legendary immediately."
You know, at least he sees his path clearly. That's his ultimate goal. He's trying to come up with a joke funny enough. Someone wants to kill him for it. And that's a clear focus. And shout out to Anthony Jeselnik for that shit. I like it. But we're gonna find at least the audio to Shark Party, and that's gonna be our background music when we talk about our animal attack of the week or some shit. Hopefully it exists, because I would love to see that shit.
Oh, you finally seen that shit I was telling you about last time you were here? The leopard eating a fucking...
Oh my
jumping
God.
in and grabbing an alligator.
Oh
That's a real
God.
thing, man. If y'all haven't seen that, look it up on YouTube.
Holy shit, man. And even if you imagine it, it's still hard to really do it justice. It is unfucking real. Oh my God.
Cats, man. My favorite killers of the animal kingdom.
Yeah. Wow, that thing had to be... I mean, how big was that leopard? Holy crap.
Right?
That thing was like a small cow. And it was just just ripped.
He's out there in the jungle, man, doing push-ups, doing pull-ups, snatching fucking alligators by the neck, dude.
Well, the fucker sleeps in a tree. I mean, you gotta just be wrapped around that thing. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, we gotta come up with a couple guests. See if we can get, Cousin Jason might be funny to have on. Get a couple people we bring back every once in a while if they make us laugh, you know.
We get Jeff to come on from time to time.
Yeah, sure, it'd be funny if
El Jefe.
if he doesn't clam up. Didn't you say he gets shy?
I don't know, we'll see.
I'm just kidding. He didn't say that.
You sit around the table long enough, you get a feel. Hopefully.
Yeah, no, it'll take some time. So the Vikings, just to touch back because I happened to find it, the Vikings actually played the Browns in Week 8 in London this year. And yeah, we won that game, but that game was closer than... I shouldn't say we. It's funny when people do that because when they start losing, I will start saying they. I was part of a study in college that was about, they call that basking in reflected glory.
Yeah.
Or cutting off reflected failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a very common, and like you can see it in a lot of different instances in life where people disassociate or associate themselves with things based on successes and failures. You know?
I've definitely heard a comic do a bit about that before. I can't remember what it all was about, but that was the thing. It's always us.
Yeah.
And we're doing great. And it's always them when shit goes sideways.
Yeah, so you gotta catch yourself, you know. And I think that, you know, that's hopefully a part of being accountable, you know, because then you're only riding your own successes and failures and not the other way around. But yeah, so I forgot where I was gonna say something else about the Vikings.
Yeah, what were you looking at?
No, I was trying to find out where they were playing and who they were playing in London. Oh, that was when the Browns hadn't won yet, and the score was.
The Browns still haven't won.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, duh. They've had a couple close games, and that one was a little too close for comfort. I think at the end we pulled away a little bit,
I'm barely paying attention to the 49ers at this point, but I am thrilled that they got their one victory, so we're not chasing 0-16 again.
Who they beat? The Giants?
Yes, and god damn it, I was going to get tickets to that game.
Yeah, you called that a couple weeks ahead of time.
Yeah,
too.
I was like, I looked at their schedule at the beginning, it was about 3 weeks in when I started to see how bad they were going to be. I was like, man, because I got a boy who lives out in San Francisco, San Jose actually, but it's right up the street. And I was like, if I'm going to go to a game, I got to pick one where they might have a shot at winning it. And that was the one, but I went there in August, so I didn't think I was quite ready to make another trip back in early November.
So I just got to double check because I can't remember. I've been in 3 different time zones in the last few days. Is it 10:10 or 9:10?
9:10.
Okay. I got to be
Keep an eye on that clock. Got a flight we got to get to here for too long.
Bounce back to Minneapolis to go see Yellow Wolf. But I do want to try to, that's kind of one of the things. We're developing our content here and just trying to figure out the things we want to try to work in once in a while. We don't want to just run down the list and just be the same every week, you
see now though what I was saying, how when you start to dive into a subject, it can take up a lot more time than you think it was. I was looking at that list like night. I was like, those are all great ideas, but we definitely won't have time to talk about all that.
No, for sure.
Unless we start doing a 3-hour podcast like Rogan.
We're at about 47 minutes right now,
yeah.
So we want to do about another half hour. But no, I do want to try to maybe we'll go back and forth. So maybe you try to introduce me to an artist or cosign. We'll call it artist cosign or some shit, and boom 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 artist cosign. We can't have all of them sound like that.
What about the underachievers? Cats I was just showing
that's
you the other
right.
day.
Oh, big
Flatbush,
shout.
New York, man. Cats are doing it.
Thank you for showing me that.
Yeah.
That's one of the hottest groups I've heard. One of the new ones I've heard in a long time.
I heard about them a lot of you people down there in Minnesota don't know about this. If you're coming up to that 420 show at Red Rocks, Method Man Redman, I seen Method Man Redman here at 420 a few years ago. They did a block party style show. It was amazing, and Underachievers one of the openers there. So obviously I checked them out on YouTube before I went to the show, and man, they grabbed my ear right away. They're super dope.
So hey, if you guys want to, well, if you're in Minneapolis and you're trying to make it out to Red Rock to see this show, get a hold of me at BobbyHatfield100 Gmail, and for $420. But we gotta do this quick so we can get the plane tickets for that price.
Check the lineup.
You get. Can you look that up while I'm telling them what they get real quick, please?
Yeah.
I don't know if they have a event page up for it yet.
Yeah, I got you. You know, definitely who's coming from Minnesota though, y'all's boy.
Yeah, Prof. Shout out Prof at Stop House. It's my music cousins from Minneapolis up there. But yeah, so for $420, you get a round trip ticket from Minneapolis, 3 nights hotel based on triple occupancy. It's not a 2-bedroom. It's got 3 beds in it. Ticket to the show, ground transportation. But yeah, so you're covered. It's your whole trip out there and back. There's no food or alcohol or nothing like that. Or there's no weed involved. You have to buy all that shit for yourself. But we'll get you out there. We'll get you to the show. We'll get you to the hotel. That whole weekend is going to be nuts. Like, we're in town from 4/19 through... Are they doing the party on the Capitol again this year?
No, they had done that. That's the big 420 rally they've been doing here in Colorado ever since it became legal up here. And they made a big stink last year about all the trash that was left over and everything.
Oh, big stink? You should have. That should have been a weed pun, brother.
Hey, we should have thought that one out better. So they're not giving up the permits this year. They posted all these pictures on the news channels up here about all the trash piles everywhere. And the people who actually put on the event and are in charge of the cleanup were like, look, this cleanup is no worse than for any other event that's hosted anywhere else. Actually, it's a little bit easier cleanup than a lot of places, you know, because we have tons of festivals up here all the time for a different number of things.
Well, yeah, because you got everybody smoking instead of drinking, so there's probably a hell of a lot less, like, bottles and cans and shit like that.
Yeah. What I see is what happened is somebody who was against it saw an opportunity to take some pictures, make a news story out of it, and get it killed, and they succeeded, at least for now. I know there's still people fighting it, trying to get the permits, but last I heard they were done.
Hey, whoever did that, you're a bitch. They'll never hear this, but hopefully somebody knows somebody who did it. Tell them they're a bitch for me. So yeah, off the top of my head, I know it's Prof and Underachievers and
no Underachievers. That was the show a while back. But Method Man Redman.
Okay, I was surprised when you said that. I was like, damn, did I forget that? Did you tell me that already? But yeah, so Method Man Redman's headlining. 311 actually might be headlining. Method Man Redman's going to be there as well.
That's the one they're showing on here. Is 311.
Long Beach, Dub All Stars.
It won't let me. I can't like select the event to find any details right now. It's pissing off.
Yeah,
Collie Buds, I know is going to be there.
Oh, Charlie Tuna from Jurassic 5. Yeah, so I'm sure there'll be other people there too. It's going to be nuts. Come on out. $420. It'll be one of the best weekends you've ever had.
I didn't know if you had looked into ticket prices yet, but right now the minimums I'm seeing are $93 each.
Well, those are second market sales. Those are people reselling tickets.
All right.
So we need to find out where we can buy those legit. I don't think they're going to be sold out. Like, we got to go through the actual event. Like, we'll figure it out when we're not doing this. I'll buy tickets to shit like this. So.
Yeah, I think that was the main ones. Method Man, Redman, Prof, 311, Collie Buds.
How you know those aren't actual prices is because they're the same tickets being sold for different prices, you know what I mean? So if you were to go to like Ticketfly or eTix, or there's a couple places like that, it's just going to be one flat price and they're just going to want to know how many.
Right. Yeah, I just went to a Red Rock site and just clicked the first link I seen for tickets.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. And we'll let you motherfuckers know where to get them when we figure it out. But I bet you that thing will be sold out like damn quick. Like, we should get on it quick probably. Yeah. I didn't even know they were for sale. And you know what? Possibly somebody might have that post up, and you go to buy it and it says deliverable on such and such date, and they're overestimating how much the price is going to be. You know, so people get scared, lock in their ticket, and they know the ticket's not going to be more than $60, and they just charge $93. You know.
Right.
I sold tickets for 2 years, man. There's all kinds of little goofy ass tricks of the trade. But,
yeah, but like you were saying though, besides that, there'll be a lot more going on than just that show if you come here for 420 weekend. If you've never done it, it's definitely worth seeing. You'll see shows, events everywhere. Like, if you're into the cannabis culture, it's a must see, and you need to do it now while it's still popping up here, because the more states that become legal, the less of a party it's going to be here. You know what I mean?
That's true. I was here for my first time last year. You were a very good host. I had a hell of a time, and Yeah, it's bittersweet that I got to do the last 420.
Wasn't the best performance either out of all the ones I've been to. No
2 Chainz.
Yeah, no too much hate going to 2 Chainz away. I get it, man, but his songs weren't exactly what the cannabis crowd were looking for.
I'm not a huge 2 Chainz guy either, but like Cypress Hill, you need Cypress Hill or Method Man.
Yeah.
Like
The first year I went, they had Devin the Dude.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
Devin the Dude's the shit. So let's see. Are we taste testing anything today? We already gave
that J we smoked earlier was Blue Magoo.
Blue Magoo.
You'll always hear me bring that up because that is the strain for me. A lot of people don't know about it. It's out of Oregon. If you ever get a chance, get it.
Yep, that's pretty rare. I never run into that. Like, well, I almost said something incriminating right there, but you know, let's just say it's not always easy to find those. So yeah, but otherwise, I guess we'll just be highlighting these high hemp wraps here. High Hemp is the brand. Organic wraps, Maui Mango. That's what we're smoking on today. It's just pretty flavorful. And I got that. What I'm pretty much just calling this shit free weed that I bought from one of these dispensaries out here because I got a fucking ounce for $100 and it's good ass weed. I mean, it's not like blow your head off shit, but it's good ass weed. It's not that Kurt Cobain.
Right.
But I've been fine on it because I can roll up as much as I want and not think about my budget. So
I love that, man. A lot of people do not have it that way all across this country.
Yes.
People still going to jail for a joint.
I know, it's fucking insanity. So we'll have an email set up next time we do. I'll be back here in Denver on Monday, and we'll get an official Gmail set up. So we always got a one place to go to answer your guys' questions and yeah, start sending us funny questions or responses to the shit we're saying, and we're gonna find a way to interact on a more immediate level than email sometime fairly soon, like with a live chat. Like when we air, I don't know, we gotta figure out if we're gonna have a time when our stuff airs or if it's just always gonna be available by click podcast style. We'll figure all that stuff out to come. I also got to figure out what's going on with Fresh Coast Live, because if Fresh Coast Live is going to be still having a future here, then we do have an opportunity to have a live scenario. Maybe not all the episodes, but like an hour a week or something once we get our shit together.
Yeah, I think that'd be ideal. Do like a slightly longer podcast in the middle of the week. Let us know what y'all think out there too.
Do you have any events coming up in like the next week or two around here that you want to shout out in Denver?
Ooh, not that I can think of off the top of my head.
I don't have any in the next couple of weeks in Florida either necessarily, although I will be down in South Florida here for Christmas and New Year's. So if you're down there, get a hold of me on Facebook and let's kick it. Bobby Hatfield MPLS is my Facebook. But in Minneapolis, yeah, well, we already shot out a couple of events in Minneapolis that I'm excited to go to. But then I'll just give the ones I'm not going to, I'll give a couple people love because I know they're out there working hard and promoting their shit. And actually, Prof is part of something called SNOWTA, SNOWTA. And it's the New Year's event that they've been throwing at the Stop House in correlation with my guy Zach Chazen. It's a crazy big, I'm talking like 10,000 people inside this big old convention center. It's fucking insane. They got half pipes and BMX jumps and all kinds of shit inside, and like they got a snow covered snowboard half pipe somehow inside.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure I heard that. So shout out to those hard-working grinders. They're holding our state down in some pretty nice fashion right now, Stop House and what they're tied to. I don't think Rhymesayers has anything to do with that, which is crazy. I mean, he's no diss to Rhymesayers, and Prof is on Rhymesayers, but most things that magnitude in Minneapolis have some Rhymesayer connection, and Prof is the only Rhymesayer connection there. So that's cool. I'm not going to be in town for New Year's, so I can't do these things. But then my other music cousins, shout out to Eddie and D-Mill from SP Styles. Again, this year they're teaming up with my good friend Beecher and B2 Nightlife for their big event down at the Hyatt, I want to say it is. You can go on my page and find some more information on that as well. I'll make a post about it. And that's got just some kind of different theme. That's not quite as hip-hop. That's more like dance music and they have a theme every year, like it was 70s, and I don't know. I have to look at the flyer to see what the theme is this year. But everybody dresses up and shit. It's a little more classy. No offense to Sonoda, but it's a little more upscale kind of party. So you got, depending on how you like to get down, you got a couple different options there. But we're gonna get this website rolling here pretty soon, and then anything I mentioned, there'll be an easy to find flyer on there. And I'd say, being today's only December 2nd, we should have that website up with some of those flyers here before you know it. Just try to help our people promote, and maybe they'll do the same back.
You got your Purple Super Bowl up and running right now?
Yeah, if you are a Vikings fan, or you're just interested in kind of seeing the progression of from mid-season on, about like maybe the first team ever to have a chance to kick ass in a home Super Bowl.
Or even if you don't even care about the Vikings, you're just a football fan and you love the Super Bowl, it's going to be in Minnesota.
Yeah, right. So there is going to be, as the season progresses, and even if the Vikings aren't in the Super Bowl, you're going to see a lot of purple stuff around since we're hosting it, like the lights at our stadium and all, from the sky, the way they're going to present the brand of our stadium, there's going to be a lot of purple, and plus we got Prince is up here, and so they're going to be doing all kinds of Prince tributes, I'm sure of that shit. Yeah, so...
This is the first Super Bowl they've had, right?
No, we had one in the Metrodome back in 91, I think.
Back in 91?
Yeah, or wait a minute, 91, well, it had to have been around there, because 91...
Well, I can tell you right now, back in 91, I was the governor of Minnesota. And we had a Super Bowl. It was a classic. Two Titans on the field killed each other. And that's just the way Super Bowls went back then. And I fought to bring a Super Bowl back to Minnesota for all these years, and it's finally going to happen for these fine people.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you so much.
Well, I had them doing it in the Marines.
Governor Jesse Ventura, everybody. Thank you very much, Governor.
The back in the Minnesota day. You said something about back in 91 right there. That was that's an intro for the governor.
Yes, sir. You are a good ambassador to our state.
If you don't pay attention to Jesse Ventura, I'm sure you know who he is if you live in Minnesota. He talks some pretty crazy shit online, man, but he's pretty intelligent still. But check some of his stuff out. He has a show called, have you ever heard of it? It's like Jesse Ventura something something. If you Google it or look it up on YouTube, you'll find it right away. But he just debates like random news topics and has people come on a show. They like stand on a podium together.
And then he stands in between them and just like
he'll have his podium and somebody else will come on and they'll debate topics, and it's pretty interesting. I've only watched a couple episodes, but
he is super fucking intelligent, and he obviously works his ass off and all that. But unfortunately, I feel like he was the liberal version of Donald Trump before Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Because if you have conservative ideas, you would be driven absolutely fucking insane.
Listening to him?
Yeah, and he's still basically to you just a dumb entertainer.
Right.
And I understand that Trump has made a lot of money, but don't get me started on that. But I still just look at him as a fucking reality show guy,
The most entertaining president ever. Probably the best entertainer ever, period. I could get a job in Hollywood tomorrow. It's a fact.
It's a fact. Oh man,
isn't it funny? He makes up facts on the spot.
Oh, for sure, for sure. What if we found out that all the gesticulating that he does, all the hand language, it equated to in hand language all just the bullshit that he talks, just the nonsense. Because that's what it sounds like is nonsense.
He's using his hands to divert you.
So, to distract you?
Yeah. Don't pay attention to what I'm saying. It made no sense.
It's like, we're not pit bulls.
Yeah.
Come on. We're not distracted by it. I don't think there's a treat in your hand.
The sad thing is, I think some people are probably that easily distracted.
All right, I don't want to get started on Trump. That's my bad. That was our Trump.
That's the Trump timer.
That was our Trump timer. We got 60 seconds.
As soon as the first person says Trump, we should have a timer and ding as soon as somebody says it.
Yeah, for sure that. And we only got 60 seconds, and I have to restrain. Part of my end of that deal is I have to not talk about it for longer than that, and part of Andy's end of it is he has to cleverly slide in some.
I'll try and keep it comedic, so it don't get too serious on Trump, because it always goes that way eventually.
Well, I just talk shit about him. I don't try to get too in depth, but I just want to throw a couple jabs at him every day. It makes me feel good. So
it's fun. It's easy.
Fuck it, we'll
it's
just
fun.
do that. Yeah. So the Vikings hosted the Super Bowl in 1992. It looks like.
Who played in it?
Good question.
92. Hold on, before you look it up, think if we can think of it in our head. 92. Who would even been in contention?
San Francisco.
Yep. Cowboys. I'm gonna say either Cowboys or Niners.
Yeah, man.
They were dominating right then. Was there anybody from AFC?
The Buffalo Bills probably.
What? Oh, maybe played in it.
Yeah, it was Washington and Buffalo.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bob got it.
I got one of them. I didn't say Washington. I said San Francisco, I think, didn't I? Yeah. But
First one you said was San Francisco. Yeah, Buffalo though.
Yeah, because
Well, fuck, they went to so many right in that time period.
Yeah, and I just remember I moved to Florida in 91 or 90 or 91, and one of my good friends down there was just a ridiculous Buffalo fan. He's from New York, and I got to be there right around him for all 3 of those Super Bowl losses, and it like almost killed him. Oh shit! It's 9:30. We got to get to the airport. We got to leave here in 15 minutes. Thanks for the timer. Check there, Andy. We're high as fuck.
I just glanced up and seen it. We're sitting around here fucking get high all day and missed the fucking flight.
Right. So I gotta do a couple things here before I leave. Brush my teeth so I don't stank out the person sitting next to me, and make sure I'm not forgetting anything. End of episode 2. I think this one.
Yeah, that was our second shot at it. I feel like it's coming together a little bit.
Yep.
It's moving smoothly.
It's nice to have a couple of cues on a piece of paper that.
Definitely. Get those blank spots and shit.
Yeah.
You got nothing else to think about. Just look over.
Yep. So now our job is to basically just keep our eye on current events and sports and shit that's fun to talk about. I guess.
We're definitely not professionals. It's not going to be perfect.
Hell no. But I'm gonna make it sound better when I edit it. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least we're willing to admit that, because we could make it sound loud, motherfuckers. All right, well, yeah, signing off. Thanks, y'all.
Keep listening.